We're talking everything from this latest episode of Lanterns, episode 1. We finally get to see Hal Jordan using his powers, everything that's going on with he and Jon Stewart, the mystery that I guess we're kind of solving. Guys, DC is so back. We're going to discuss all that and more in an all-new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome to Unbinged, podcast for the shows, movies, and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown, joined by Jagger, Matt Kopfhamer. We're talking everything from this first episode of Lanterns, but first, let's get the spoiler warning.
I'm about to spoil a lot of shit, including episode 1 and comic books and everything Lanterns.
Oh, guys, we're so back. We're so back. I mean, maybe we never left, but we're so back, dude. This first episode of Lanterns was... Yeah. I'm the Scorsese meme right now, just cinema. I'm so happy. I was sitting here watching it with my wife, who's like still in the room, probably cringing as I do podcast voice. I was levitating watching this episode. And Jag, I know you are like me right now. Just go. Just say things that were great about this episode.
Damn, boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel bad for my neighbors. I am moving, so I actually don't feel too bad, but I will shout. This was everything I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. It was Lanterns. It was True Detective. It was fucking depressing. I was surprised at the end. This is like, again, what I call like the ultimate Jag show, because I'm a massive Damon Lindelof fan. Post Lost. I don't fuck with Lost, but like this was everything I wanted it to be. It's great. It like Kyle Chandler, GOAT, man. Like that. You talk about old white man drip. It's like him, John Hamm, James Marsden, like heaven
Walton
forbid,
Goggins.
Like, Walton Goggins, white man drip, man. Old white man drip. You love it.
This
who knew?
Everyone who ever owned a TV fucking knew.
Listen, you cut me off. Who knew? You put Kyle Chandler and football in the same show, and it's incredible.
They went out of their way to mention football so many times, and it was just, I mean, granted, it's Nebraska. You got corn and football. There's the two things they got.
There's nothing out there. Yeah, I used to deliver out there all the time. I spent a lot of time in Nebraska, man.
Oh, well, anyone else tuning in from Nebraska, we love you guys. Mm-hmm. Cough?
You're okay.
You're okay. Cough. Instant reactions from this first episode of Lanterns. Are you feeling like DC is on track now with everything from the show, the tone of the show, the writing, the pacing, everything? It's so much to ask after one episode, but I feel like we are on track. This train is going the right direction at the right speed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like there were no hiccups with this episode. The only complaint I might have is that they may have typecast, Dylan, what's his name? Garrett Dillenhart as the villain.
Yeah.
So that's my only complaint is like, you see him on screen, you're like, okay, that's the bad guy. But other than that, like this show is fantastic. The pacing's great. The casting is fantastic. The dialogue was fucking awesome. Like I was laughing more than I expected. The ending, like Jag said, surprised the hell out of me. I'm like, oh, we're doing a time jump. Okay, cool. Oh shit, that's what the time jump's showing. Okay, so everything so far has been fantastic. And I don't know if you guys watched the little teaser for the rest of the season on what we're gonna see.
No.
Was I the only? Okay, so I was the only one that did that. Then I don't want to say anything. But we may be in for a pretty big surprise on like what the alien element is coming up.
Well, I mean, they did talk about it a little bit they showed it when they talked about it in the original trailers where they talked about there's manhunters here.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was in the trailer. You're good.
Okay, I did. Okay, then not that surprising. Then we're probably going to get a Martian Manhunter reveal at some point in the season.
Well, not necessarily Martian Manhunter, but the Manhunters. That is different. For
the thing is, it could be
but
both.
It could tie into
perhaps.
Yeah. It might tie into.
Would you like that though? Like, would you like for them to then introduce another integral Justice League character into a show like this?
Yes.
I wouldn't mind.
No, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, my other favorite guy.
Okay, no, let me rephrase that.
Let me mistakes too juicy.
Okay, yeah, good. Let's do that. Let me rephrase it, you fuckers. Would it be smart for DC to introduce such an important character for the Justice League and for the DC universe within this show? Is that the smart thing to do? As we're
handled well, yeah.
As we're talking about it, I'm thinking, right? Like, you're probably not going to have a Martian Manhunter solo movie. You're probably not doing a Martian Manhunter show. So maybe this is the way to do it.
Yeah. And you don't
mean-
even necessarily need him to be a part of the show right away. It doesn't need to be Lanterns and Manhunter and Martian
Right.
Manhunter. It could be like, fuck, there's Martians, and at the end, you know, like, I'm John Johns, and then like,
And it's just like
if they want to
this is my
fucking
calling
gimmick
card.
me, yeah, I'm in, dude. If they want to do the whole like I'm building a team, fuck yeah, man. Like this is the way to do it. I don't. If they give me John Johns now, I'm in. If they give it to it at the end, I'm in. I don't give a fuck. I'm locked in, baby.
I'm cool with that,
Like
no matter what.
I haven't been at a show that started on this much of a high where I've given them this much room. You guys know I like start at a 5. And then you better hope you get me to 6.5 by episode 1.
Phrasing. Let's keep talking about this. Before we do, guys, if you're enjoying this conversation so far about Lanterns, please take a second to like this video, comment down below with your thoughts. We're going to be back here every single Monday with you guys for every episode of Lanterns here on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify. If you are listening on one of those podcast platforms, leaving a 5-star review means the world to us. It helps us grow. We are an independent podcast. We're not attached to some sort of big company that promotes us. It is all you guys giving us that love. So please leave those 5-star reviews. It helps us grow and get in front of more eyes and ears. And then every Wednesday, we're going to be back here for Ted Lasso. That is on the audio side only. So if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, you're good. If you're watching on YouTube, go join us on the podcast platforms and join us for Ted Lasso every week. And then Thursday nights, right after the episodes come out, we will be covering every episode of Silo until that season is over. And then we're going to switch over to Dark Matter over on Apple TV. So lots of reasons for you to keep joining us here every single week on Unbinged. Now back to our conversation here about Lanterns, guys. Jag, you mentioned that like this show kind of had everything where it's happy, it's sad, it's depressing, it's got action, it's got all of it. And you mentioned True Detective as one of the main influences, and that's something that they've talked about as well. I think with the intergalactic thing too, and then the relationship between Hal and John, it also gave me a little bit of like Men in Black vibes. And I know you and I both love that movie. It kind of felt a little the same of like Hal being like, I'm gonna go fuck with this guy that's an alien, and yeah, it's kind of fun to do. Watch this, Junior. And it's kind of gave me the same vibes of Tommy Lee Jones calling Will Smith slick the whole time.
Yeah.
It felt very, very reminiscent of that. And my millennial body was just ready. Like every time that was happening, I was like, Kyle Chandler, Clear Eyes, Full Hearts, can't lose, man. Like you've got me.
And this is all the things you say I agree with. I'm not going to add on it because you cooked there. But what I am going to say, this is how you do changes. When I point to this and Quicksilver, where I was just like, well, technically, you know, Green Lantern, like Hal Jordan never actually trained John Stewart, and he was out as his backup for blah, blah, blah. I don't fucking care. You did a really good job, and that, like, I'm so locked in that detail is just like, bloop, it's gone. You know, like I'm ready to locked into this version. And this is the same thing what I call back to like Quicksilver in the one of the bright spots in Fox's changes in X-Men. That was just a vastly better Quicksilver than the comics ever gave us. And if you're going to make a change, do a really good job and swing away. And that's kind of why I want to go back to like Hal dying.
Yeah.
I think it was so necessary to do. It's comic books. You can bring Hal back thousands of ways. DC's done that. But this was brave. It was bold. It was different. I was shocked.
Brave and bold, you say?
Oh.
Cough, did you like that?
Say that again. Say that
again. Oh, fantastic.
And force lives on forever in our hearts. Kopf, what'd you think here, man? Because I actually love that James Gunn and DC has been doing this, where they're like, hey, remember when Superman starts, where they're like, hey, we first saw metahumans back at this time, and then it's been this many years and this many years and this many years, and then the first episode of Lanterns does that as well, where it's like, hey, Hal Jordan revealed himself in 86, and then 96 we got John getting fucking William Telled in his backyard by his dad, and then they just keep progressing every so many 10 or 20 years. Have you liked that? And did you like the way they ended this episode by being like, okay, it's not the mystery of what happened, or it's not the mystery that now we have Hal gone, it's how it happened.
I did enjoy the different time jumps, because you have to imagine we've already seen with Superman that's set in 2025. So we already have the introduction of Guy Gardner. Then we have this show set in 2016 primarily, and they're talking about how Hal is the only Green Lantern. So obviously in that 9 or 10 year time span, Guy Gardner gets introduced as another Green Lantern. So I think they're being very smart and very clever with how they're introducing the different timelines to us and what information they're revealing to us and when. And I think it's going to be very important as we go along with the show, with it being a central mystery, that how they describe things, the different tenses they're going to use, and when things are described, I think it's going to be very important to keep an eye and an ear out for those details. Because I think it's going to be very telling of how, if they go the route of like a Westworld where they're going a little bit of time fuckery where you're not quite sure where you're jumping around in the timeline,
Careful.
how things are being described is going to be important.
When you say Westworld, you're like, what season?
Yeah.
What season?
First season. Let's go with
I was
first
like,
season. Not
easy,
that season.
easy.
Yeah, not later seasons.
You know what?
The first season where you have the 3 timeline jumping around.
You know what I love here too is by doing this, it makes it also pretty easy for DC to explain certain things away. You don't have the Marvel New York problem where you're like, well, where was Spider-Man when this was happening? Or
Where
where
were
is
the
Daredevil?
Eternals?
You know, like all those. You just be like, oh, okay, like John was actually fucking busy. He didn't have a ring. Hal's dead, or Hal's going through his shit. That's why there was no other Green Lantern except for Guy Gardner. The timeline checks out. Okay, like this makes sense.
Also,
Bingo.
like this makes DC big right away in multiple ways. Where like Supergirl was a failure. I'm not saying that it was a horrible movie or anything, but it was just an abject failure as far as commercially and expand like image as well, because everyone,
it is one of the biggest box office flops of all time. Like
of
that's
all time.
There's not a way around it. We enjoyed the movie, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of people are like, well, the MCU's back with Spider-Man, the DCU's cooked because people can't think multiple facets. Everything has to be this or that. This shows that you can have a Supergirl, but there's a lot of success elsewhere. And then we already automatically have the tone. I hate to be the guy that says we don't need another Batman. We don't need another fucking Batman. Like, Gotham can exist right now, and I think Lanterns is good proof. The other thing that I want to bring up on the MCU problem, and like, well, where were so you're actually worried that some shit could happen to you in the fucking Nebraska. Because, like, if I'm living in the MCU, I'm like, fuck it, I'm moving
to Nebraska.
I'm just going to move to Missouri.
Yeah,
I'm going to move, like,
New York.
No one's going to bother me in Missouri. If I'm a super villain, I'm just going to go to, like, Denver. Because, like, okay, well, like, Spider-Man can't bust my ass in Denver.
As long as you're not in New York or Europe when that one particular school is on a field trip, you're fine.
Or a made-up country. If you're in a real...
Yeah. We're avoiding Wakanda and Latveria. Got it.
Yeah, it's Sokovia.
Oh, yeah, that one too. I forgot.
The big one.
It doesn't exist anymore, don't worry. Sorry to all the Sokovians that I just offended. My bad.
Whoops.
Guys, there's...
Speaking of whoops,
Yeah?
wait, can we talk about the big one from the episode where...
The wife?
Where,
Yeah.
The grandma?
Wait. Is
that little boy, the quarterback, quarterback kid goes, hey, grandma, like, that's a
Yeah.
grandmother he slept with, which good, good for her.
I like how that's the part that you're really hung up on, not that it's the dude's wife.
Yeah.
It's that she has a
Oh, I don't care about
grandchild.
they're in the cuckolding. That's not that weird. Like, that's, come on. Like, if he
Yeah, when
knows
when he
about it.
said,
I'm gonna
nothing better than eating off another man's grill. First of all, there's so many ways that could be taken, but goddamn, like, how do you?
Oh, we know.
How do you
We know
even
what it
react
means.
when a guy's saying that to you?
I'm so
Sorry, I'll
uncomfortable
film it
talking
next
about
time.
this. Remind me to tell you guys a story post haste after this.
Post
Maybe. I don't know,
haste.
maybe not every. Yeah. I don't. I'm confused at, like, how is that the world's oldest baby they had? Like, their son is like.
What? Which one?
So I did look it up. Jason Ritter is 16 years younger than Garrett is.
Garrett Dillon.
Technically, it works out.
Technically, it could.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just looks really good for his age because he's an actor and he's in shape.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Well,
was like, Jason Ritter is married to
think that-
Melanie Linsky, to my dismay. So
he's got a young face, man. I mean, John Ritter kind of always had the young face too. Like, it just it works for them.
But I'm also thinking Zoe is a second wife. I don't think she is William's mother.
Statistically, that's probably accurate.
Because
Yeah.
he's way too white. He's way too white
Yeah.
to be her child.
I mean,
He
hey,
has no pigment.
Cough, it happens to us sometimes, okay? We don't all come out that color. Right?
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, Alfredo.
Fuck, man.
Are you a weird color?
No, I'm
No,
he's saying that
pale.
he's saying that he doesn't believe that what is it, Billy Macon could be her actual son because he's too white, and I'm just like, dog, sometimes we just come out like that, you know?
It's true. Yeah.
It does happen. But you know what was weird though, and like it made me more curious about Jon Stewart because there's so many times where he's saying, "Oh, I respect chain of command," and he's calling Hal sir, and he almost seems to be almost too by the book, where he plays by the rules all the time. Until
That's Jon Stewart though.
and that's right. Like, and I do get that. It makes me more curious about him because it seems like there are times where he's just willing to not play by the rules. Like, even when it's not his jurisdiction, I'm gonna go run down this perp. Even when I do not know this woman, I'm going to fuck her within minutes of meeting her. Like, there's times.
Well, the sex thing, that's
the first
different.
one. The first one he got permission before he went and ran after the perp. The second one, that's just him. You know, he's in a small town bored.
I want to know why. Like, I'm intrigued as to what makes him that person, right? Because we're only seeing the surface level of Jon Stewart, and typically the guy who's like, "I'm on duty. I'm only drinking a Coca-Cola product tonight." Within minutes, is like, you know what though? I am gonna let my guard down and give it to you, and
He'll take a risk. The child who had an apple shot off his head frequently by his father is willing to take a risk.
Big
weird.
No, there's a big difference between not having fear and then not like letting your guard down during your job.
Right now.
Coffee, you're first of all, you're thinking of this way too horny, by the way. Like, I need you to get into Jon Stewart's mindset here because there's also he's putting his
seems
job
like he was
risk.
plenty horny too.
All right.
I'm having a hard. I'm a little with Cough but here's my
horny,
thing. I mean, there's horny, and then I can just act on it. Like, give me some credit, you know.
All
like,
right. I'll allow it.
know?
I'll cede the floor to you.
Okay. I'm having a hard time separating myself because, like, I always joke where people are like, "Oh, I bet you love Jon Stewart. He's your favorite Lantern." I do not relate to Jon Stewart at all, bro. Like, I am such a house.
Why do they say you must love Jon Stewart?
That's what I'm saying.
For reasons.
I love Jon Stewart because he's a different kind of black dude. I do not relate to him at all. He is such a fucking square all the time.
You really
I'm
into
like,
Steel?
Huh?
Are you really into Steel?
I think he's cool and he's an engineer. I do like smart black people. That's why I like Mr. Terrific, you know. But like Jon Stewart, I'm not saying he's dumb, but he's like way too military. Remember Hal Jordan was so good that they allowed him to be Air Force, but he was not good at being Air Force as like military guy. So like at the same time though, who is Jon Stewart? He's like, oh, rules, rules, rules. It took basically Hot Girl literally basically giving him a blowjob. It's like, clearly you want this, essentially. Let's just, like, for comedic purposes, for him to finally break. That is the one thing that would make him break, is that he is a man. He has needs. She was hot. So I'll allow it. Is where I'm at.
He's got to have at least one flaw.
I'm not saying that he did anything wrong. Like, that's where I think we're getting the wires crossed, is I'm wondering why. What makes Jon like that? Like, what makes him tick internally like that? Because his character is so straight-laced and by the book, but there's something that allows him to kind of step out. And that's a part of Jon Stewart I'm very intrigued to see, because we see that right off the bat with Hal. Hal is basically Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
Did you counterfeit money? Yeah, did you counterfeit money?
Dude,
like,
to play roller skate over and over and over is hilarious.
That's a John Mulaney skit. That's a John Mulaney joke about like him and his friend back in like high school did that at the diner where they played Tom Jones, like what's new Pussycat, like 20 times in a row.
Oh yeah, that's a troll, dude. And that is a fight starter, man. Like I love this is why I go back. I love the backdrop at it. Like, I'm very Southern on here. You play some shit like that on a jukebox more than once, someone's going to get mad. You know, that's just like, if you're in a metal bar and you play something that is not the most awful dad metal on the planet, you're getting You're going those are fighting actions. those aren't just words. Those are fighting actions. And I love that John's just casually macking on a girl, then Hal's just like fucking getting like waylaid in the back.
But what's great is they're both having the time of their life. Both of them doing the two separate things.
The things that they love.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hal's just hard as a rock back there, getting the shit kicked out of him, pressed up against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though. I thought Zoe, before we get the reveal that she is Zoe Macon, I thought she was gonna turn out to be like an alien.
I thought she was gonna be an alien too, dude. She still could be.
She still might, because if she is like the recent wife and not the mother of the kids, she absolutely could be. Like,
good point.
I mean, we are seeing, like, when we do see the perp that Hal is questioning later, some of these aliens are in really deep. Like, they have really good covers, except for, you know, being in Nebraska and being totally cool with Obama, or not knowing where Harry Potter went to school.
Dude, that was so good, because that is how you would get him. Like, too, it's just like, where did Harry Potter go to school? Like, the fact that, like, who alive in the world would not be able to answer that? Like, quite
especially
literally,
in 2016.
Yeah, 2016. That's peak Potter.
Yeah.
Peak Potter.
He's like, they only made 22 movies.
J.K. Rowling wasn't even on the fucked list at that point, right?
She was still safe.
She was like the pride of the UK. It was like her and Princess Diana. Like, she was up there.
The gays loved her back then. You know, they're like, gay Dumbledore.
What a time to be alive, man.
Yeah, this was crazy. And then Obama was like, you're in Nebraska, Obama. You don't have.
I did like though how he portrayed that character, or the actor portrayed him, where it's like he seemed like he's like accessing an encyclopedia. He's like, yeah, he's the 44th president. He follows.
He was like looking off to the side.
Yeah,
like,
it was really
AI.
cool how they portrayed that. Yeah.
And he has something in his skeletal in there, so he was doing some fucking Terminator shit, where he just like Googling shit in his head. Like, that was some quick Googling, because like right away Google is gonna tell you like he's an illegal and Satan and a pedophile. You know?
That's
how do
Google
you
now.
Turn on like super
depends
like
which search
conservative
engine he was
Google.
looking at.
Yeah, like what's conservative Google?
Like, was Ask Jeeves still around in 2016?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter
he
right
has the
now.
first version of Grok.
See what I get.
Well, be careful. Actually, question.
Chad, is that true?
Did I miss this? Was there any indication as to what alien life form he might be?
I don't think so. I didn't catch it if he did.
Because I mean, there's a lot of different aliens,
like,
but like, I'm wondering if we're talking Manhunters, and you guys are thinking there's a possibility we get Martian Manhunter here. Are we talking maybe White Martians?
White Martian? I'm thinking I think we might get a White Martian, because there was a little tease. Part of the teaser was like, it looked like a desiccated alien body, and it was very, very like white or gray. So I'm wondering that might be a White Martian body.
Maybe, or just a white person in Nebraska. I mean, it's anyone's guess.
You never know. Honestly, you never know.
I imagine someone. It's a Martian.
No, it's just the skinny. It's just the crackhead.
He's one of the white ones. He's one of the white ones. It's okay. Green. If a Greenwood shows up, it's game over, dog. Not in my country.
Nebraska.
I love the way that Damon Lindelof cannot help but, and you guys get so mad when we bring up politics. Damon Lindelof been talking about politics and everything. This is not my fault, bro. He totally set that shit up. This whole thing's gonna be a metaphor on illegal aliens. We have to talk about it. Don't get mad about me, at me and us, because.
Which is interesting, because we already got in Peacemaker Season 1 the Secret Invasion type storyline. So it'll be interesting to see if they revisit that type of story in this show too.
Well, it's how they view Earth. We're like a backwater town, and it's like colonization. Like, if there's anything that's like, we lost a planet, or we need something, or you have anything, Earth is like garbage. We throw bits of metal at each other.
They're the settlers. They're Christopher Columbus landing in where they thought was India, and they're like, oh, look at these savages. Let's go take their land. Like, that's how.
And we're playing football instead of fixing the atmosphere, like the aliens said.
Yeah, they're like, look at these idiots watching other men throw a ball around.
That's because football is exciting. The atmosphere is dumb.
I mean,
we're bitching about Supergirl right now. We're talking about lanterns. Like, why am I fixing the atmosphere? Because I'm a fucking idiot. I can't.
I'm not an engineer. That's why, or a scientist.
I talk about football for money, the stupid sport they were talking about.
We talk about people doing other stuff.
Yeah, like
We
I
are the
talk about
lowest
people
form
doing
of human life forms.
Yeah. There's like
Sick.
people who do stuff, then there's me, right?
We could be worse. We could be doing push-ups outside of a jail in honor of another man, you know.
Oh, good.
We had to go.
Good, you made it
but
real.
That deserves it.
Yeah.
That deserves it.
No.
That's fucking nightmare, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anywho,
I do think that this was my Hal Jordan, man. Like my headcanon has changed. Like Kyle Chandler immediately embodied it. And to be fair, I don't feel like I'm just watching Kyle Chandler, you know, because Coach Taylor is more like Jon Stewart, right? You know, where he'd be like, you got to show up to practice at 6:30, you know, like that's he ain't showing up to practice. He's hungover. He's late showing up. It's an immediate difference, but still this feels like Hal Jordan. Cause like, that's how I would be if I was a Green Lantern, a fuck ass. Like I'd have no fear, but I'm trying to mac on married women who have kids and shit like that. Like still to this day, simping over a woman. I totally would.
there's also like a difference to how Hal is doing it too, where like he talked the brief conversation where the little girl or someone else at the guy that owns a taco place is like, well, why don't you wear the suit anymore? And he's like, it's a lot like wearing a tie. When you're young, you're trying to impress people and you know, look like you mean something or you matter or whatever. And then you get a little bit older and you realize wearing a tie is fucking annoying. And like, that's where he's at. Maybe following all the rules of being a Green Lantern is fucking annoying, and upholding that standard all the time is fucking annoying, but doing things his way, a little more fun.
To be fair, it's canon. It's canon to think that the Guardians fucking suck.
Yes,
because they do.
They're the Fiesta stop.
They're space cops.
Oh, fun police.
Yeah, they are fascists. The Guardians are fascists. Let's
Just
go
like
ahead
that,
and say it. He kind of, I mean,
you know, there's times,
you know,
when you spy on a whole city to try to stop one man, like, it's a little fascist. Anyway,
a drug addict, pow, 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 pow. Now go get opiates because I broke every bone in your body.
whoops.
Enjoy the Vicodin.
That's why I'm not wearing hockey pads. Dude, I love how Hal Jordan ghosts, though. I wish I had that power. He's just like, oh, you get the paycheck. Just like dips out.
Dude,
totally
that was such a great scene
bro.
where John has to then take a flight, rent a car in Nebraska, drive all the way to the football stadium, and like Hal's already in there. And Hal being in the same spot too, and on the bleachers where we find him dead, and like sitting upright, frozen.
Did he have a gunshot, or was it just a random wound? I couldn't tell what kind of wound it was.
It looked like a gunshot. Like, what could kill a lantern with like a gun is what I'm.
Well,
you know,
he also didn't have his ring, so it looked like somebody may have taken his ring before killing him.
Okay, this is a perfect segue.
When he dies, his ring would fly off and go find the next
that too.
lantern.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have gone to John though?
Would it be no?
John would already have
John and Guy. Yeah, they're already been replacement and have their own rings. So
John
it might be
doesn't have a ring.
Kyle.
I didn't see him wearing a ring at that time.
I don't. This is where I had to ignore it. This is where I was talking about the details.
This is what leads me to believe that the ring was taken, and John is going to have to get that ring by the end of this, because that was the thing that was talked about all of episode 1 is Hal keeps saying, you'll get this ring when I'm dead. Like, you can get it over my dead body or whatever the fuck, right? And now he's dead, but John still doesn't have the ring. So did it
for 10 years? Because he did drive there in a truck. Maybe it's cold though. I don't know. But he goes in space. So I don't know, man. Lots of questions.
See, now you said that the ring flies off, I was like, oh, Kyle Rayner's gonna get introduced, and then maybe not. Like, maybe that'll be maybe too early to have 3 different Green Lanterns all at the same time. So I don't know.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting, Jag, and I'll let you cook on this because I know you actually, both you guys know probably a little more about the Lanterns than me, but one of the theories that is catching some steam is that William Macon, the guy that we get introduced to here, who has like his own militia, could actually be the character William Hand, who
the Black Lantern.
Black Hand, who is basically Black Lantern, and like I can't remember exactly what it is, but he sort of has like almost like necromancing powers, and he's able to use a Green Lantern ring, right, to create a Black Lantern ring. Is that what we're talking about here?
Actually, he uses the Black Lantern, like the same thing,
yeah,
from like a Green Lantern, and it makes multiple rings that will go on the dead and control them. And the ring is the thing that has whatever fucked up downloaded AI version of their consciousness. So actually, this is good. This is actually really fucking good, because in the beginning we see that how Jordan has uploaded his consciousness to a ring. That's actually how the Black Lantern rings work. And like, you basically would take an AI model of Alfredo and it have all of his memories, all his shit, and you just make it like evil and shitty, you know, and then that's how that would work. I mean, yeah, if that would fuck with whoever he's trying to kill, that Black Lantern would say horny stuff. That's actually a huge plot line, and I have the whole book right there. Mm-hmm. DCU and Marvel Comics are an incredibly horny thing. Yeah, Blackest Night.
Would that make sense? I mean, we're theorizing here, right? And I wanted to say that for later on in the show, because I didn't want to like just jump in with that and not talk about the episode. But would that be a good story here for the Lanterns series, or at least a play on it?
Because everybody knows. Well, okay, if you're at all familiar with the Green Lanterns, you know that their enemies are the Yellow Lanterns, but you may not know that there's a whole spectrum. Yeah, there's a whole spectrum of ring colors. Yeah, exactly. But this might be a really cool way to expand some of that lore for the common watchers who may not know about the other color spectrums, and then you get guys like Jagger, myself, or in you, Alfredo, who are more familiar, and then be like, oh shit, this is very exciting. This is the first time we may get a full color spectrum of lanterns on the big screen, or on the silver screen at the very least.
See, another one that like the big one I'm thinking is Atrocitus.
Yes, because that's a connection.
Yeah, because we're gonna get Red Lantern, which is a domino effect, because Guy Gardner is like, he's, you piss that motherfucker off, he's like instant Red Lantern. Like he'll turn it, and like for those of you who don't know,
first, right?
No, he goes straight to Red Lantern. Don't like Sinestro has a whole core. For that's a whole other thing we can talk about.
Right.
Because we got to go find Sinestro and the Lantern Corps for there. They're actually called the Sinestro Corps. So.
Mm-hmm. No, of course, yeah. And Hal becomes a Yellow Lantern, but doesn't Guy spend some time as Yellow Lantern briefly too?
Let us know in the comments, guys, if you're big Lantern people.
Actually, probably does. They're like, DC's been fucking huge. I haven't read everything. Just like right now in canon, Guy has just been Green Lantern, Red Lantern, and then something called Warrior, which is, we don't have room for you in the main canon, so we're going to go do something else with you.
I feel like Guy Gardner, it's so easy for him to become a Red Lantern. Like the Boston Celtics lose the Eastern Conference Finals and he just goes ape shit, just goes full on Red Lantern right after fucking Jaylen Brown gets
Kyle Rayner.
Like, and I'm done.
Yeah, that would be that. And honest to God, let's say like we're gonna go with the Justice League instead of the Justice League. Just like fucking rages out.
Someone calls his haircut stupid.
Yeah, what this does though, it makes DC even bigger. We keep talking about the scale of it, because like Lanterns is its whole. And like you can spend seasons just on Green Lantern lore, like that, like just in space, and it lives on its own. You don't even have to give a fuck what's going on with Superman or whatever. Like Superman and all the Krypton, they become like environmental damage at that point on there. This gives a lot of options where, like, again, the MCU did a great job, but it was very linear. I feel like DC's doing this, like, it's
just creating a giant universe for you to live in, and we can tell a bunch of different stories from within the sandbox, and all these stories can be different, right? And it's like, I don't want to derail too much, like to go back to what you said, we're like, oh, we don't need another Batman. Like if this can be dark and work, you can have Clayface, which could have like body horror elements, and that works. And it's just like, okay, well then tonally we can just be different for every single character. And when they do eventually come together, you are so used to this universe that you just accept it. The cities are going to look different. The characters are going to act different. Because guess what? Fucking people do act different. Like you just go to any different
cities
state.
Are different.
Yeah, right. Like it's not all New York. It's not all, shiny the way that Marvel has had it. No, that's not a shot. It's just, we can get something different, and DC needs to be different if they're going to survive.
And as long as they continue to be clever with the way they're using their timelines, and they get themselves even more room to be creative and more freedom to tell these kind of stories, because you're not worried about like, okay, we have to, we just had the Infinity War events. Now we got to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And so with this way, they're being very clever from the start, being like, hey, we can jump around the timeline whenever we want, and it really doesn't matter. And that's something that Marvel tried to do, and they started it with like, Captain America: First Avenger, and then they quickly just like lost track of that. So it'd be interesting to see if DC continues to allow themselves to be creative with how they time things and where they are in the timeline.
Yeah, because sorry, go ahead, Alfredo.
No. I was just gonna add, like, I thought Marvel actually did a pretty good job with Captain Marvel, where they were like, "Hey, this was years and years ago," but they didn't really do that much. Like, they kept everything very linear.
Mm-hmm. Everything was pointing towards Thanos, and that's actually like a good thing. Look, where I was going to point at is like, we don't necessarily need to build up to Darkseid. It doesn't have to be that. Like, we can have Superman build up to like Brainiac, and he has this big event, and then like maybe eventually we hop and skip and get to Darkseid or something. We can have a whole Cadmus plot line or something that I'd be very interested in. The Lanterns, we can go. And to be fair, Blackest Night is it's one of the biggest DC events ever. That's like everything there. Like, that's another option that we can go to, is going to Blackest Night. Spoilers, that's how you bring back Hal, is Blackest Night. That's how you bring back a lot of characters, is through there. That's actually what that served as. It's like, all right, this is stale. I want, other heroes to come back. And you could go towards Parallax. Like, it doesn't have to be the same copy and paste model.
Sorry, Kiba's losing his shit back there.
I just took one from him, and he keeps finding more.
Is he biting it or humping it? This is Jag's dog, by the way, with a toy.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. But yeah, like, we don't have to do the same model. We can have bigger events elsewhere, and then if we want to build up to one big event, we can take different paths to get there.
As long as we stay away from the Injustice timeline, that's all I ask. Don't do that.
I've never read that. A lot of people hate it. It was a great game, but I just like fighting games. I don't care about the storyline.
It's an interesting concept that just goes off the rails really, really, really fast. So like after the third or fourth issue, it's like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah, it gets really similar to like what Zack Snyder was doing with his whole like nightmare scenario, and it's just, that almost feels more of like the desperation play, kind of like what Marvel's doing, where they're like, oh, guess what? We got Doomsday. Let's just reset everything. Like, that's kind of what Injustice would feel like, as a reset of the DC universe. Whereas like this, they're not on a direct timeline. They're not saying that these movies are leading towards something. They're just saying we're building a universe. And eventually it could happen where we have someone show up. Right. And like, the Justice League is not going to be formed the way it was in the Snyderverse. It's going to get formed in a different way, and different people will join at different times. And essentially, it does feel like we're going to have more of like a JLU scenario, like Justice League Unlimited, where random people are showing up at random times. It's going to be massive with tons and tons of heroes, and Batman's just going to kind of fuck off and be a part-timer, which I love.
Yeah,
he is. He's the one that funds the projects and then shows up every once in a while.
Yeah,
and that's what's so good. Like, again,
Batman's the pimp. He doesn't actually work the streets. He just runs the organization with his money. He shows up at the Watchtower, and they're like, "Hey, Daddy, that's just Batman."
And then he got cast out and be like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Do it, Jag.
I think that we should have Batman be separate and is weird, because that's how people view Gotham. They're like, he deals with psychopaths. Like Gotham is Detroit. How we think about Detroit. Everyone's like, I'll move in Detroit. You're like, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, sorry.
How many places can we shit on in one episode?
Let's go for Cleveland next.
I live in Arkansas, man. Little Rock, per capita crime, number one. I think we beat Chicago.
Gold medal.
Yeah.
Number one in crime, number 4 in obesity.
Actually, yeah, it's up there. Arkansas and Oklahoma are not on any good list, with the exception of cost of living. But you know why it's low? All the other lists.
I think they're still above Florida in education, though. So
that's true. Florida is last.
No.
Florida's,
is it really?
Yeah.
It's like 49th or 50th now.
We might be 51st.
Crazy, because Oklahoma's
our education's not good.
We are dumb. It's nuts. You have to try to
Florida-
get that low. I feel like you got to be
Florida-
working for that.
Florida's one of those places where you're either running from something and so you go to Florida, or like you're waiting to die, so you go to Florida.
I'm kind of mad my 51st state joke didn't hit as well as I thought it would, but all right. That's just Florida.
I just told you I had Arkansas as a case. Dog. Like, you talk about the dumbest states.
You had
You're
to
looking
question
at a
how many
trio.
states we had.
Sam didn't make this one, guys.
Where's it?
We'll get her next time.
The collective IQ has been
Neither
lowered
did
because
Vic.
Sam's
Well,
not
Vic went
here.
to Florida.
Yeah. Guys, I think that covers everything here with Lanterns, right? Is there anything else you guys want to add? Because I do have something else I want to talk about really quick as like a bonus here in this episode.
Go.
I do love the line where he's like, I don't know, he whispered it, so I don't know if he said good luck or oh fuck.
Oh,
He killed me, man.
it's
What
just
a great delivery.
actually, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I am so happy with the way they just been like, yep. They did kind of like the Don Cheadle's roadie, where they're like, I'm here, deal with it, let's move on. Like, yes, this is old Hal. He got the ring. That's the story. We're not doing that again. Like, we're gonna leave the Hal Jordan origin story back in the Ryan Reynolds movie, and that's fine.
This is something that's happened in hero movies in general. We've finally advanced. Enough people have seen it. We don't need to see Uncle Ben die anymore.
I don't need to see. I don't need to see Martha Wayne's
know.
pearls in the street.
Yeah,
get
we
it.
don't need to see that shit anymore. Like I don't need to see what the I don't need him to say the whole fucking Green Lantern thing and have that moment. Like I don't need it. You know.
See, I'm of two minds on that. You're right. I think with the big characters, the Spider-Mans, the Batmans, we don't need the origin story because we've gotten it so many times. But I think there are characters that you still need that origin story for. Like for example, Blue Beetle. He's a small character, so when his movie comes out or came out, you needed that. Like, this is his actual origin.
Well, yeah,
This is
we've
what
never had
happens.
that. I think that's obvious. I'm just saying for a
Right.
character like this, where Hal is not the main character, he is a part of the story and expected to maybe not be going forward as part of the story. Like, I get it where he's just like, yep, fucking alien fell, he died, gave me the ring. Like that was how it
It was in a
happened.
big green bubble.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we were able to talk Green Lanterns here a little bit. Kiba is going to destroy Jag's entire living situation. So we're going to wrap up this episode. We'll be back again next Monday covering each episode of Lanterns. So make sure you are with us. As always, I want to thank you for watching, for listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Kopf, and for Kiba. We'll see you next time. Adios.